Now, Paul Joseph Watson has a story on InfoWars today. Homeland Security is now going to activate a national license plate recognition database. He says the Department of Homeland Security is going to activate a national license plate tracking system, and that's going to create a hot list of target vehicles so that they can scoop all this information up and look for what they call, quote, criminal aliens and absconders. Absconders, you know, those are people who, according to the dictionary, leave hurriedly in order to avoid detection. You're not going to be able to avoid detection from these people. They're going to keep it in their database. But of course, why should we worry about them creating a hot list of target vehicles? Well, we've just seen the government kill a lot of innocent people just this last week with drone strikes that were based on metadata. And of course, your license plate is metadata about you. And the troubling concern about that is not just that they're going to use this in a way to target political activists, but that they're also going to have mistakes with this. Can you imagine, with all the shootings that we've seen of the police, if you're on a hot target list and they pull you over something, they're going to be very trigger happy. Now, Paul Joseph Watson points out how this has worked in the UK and elsewhere. He says in the UK, political activists have been targeted by having their vehicles added to the hot list after just attending protests. One person was questioned under anti-terrorism laws after he traveled to take part in an anti-war demonstration. And critics of the system in Australia have condemned it as a Pandora's box for an abuse of power, mistakes, and illegal disclosure. Now, speaking of illegal disclosure, look at this article from Steve Watson. Security experts say that TSA scanners are wide open to hacking. Not only are they ineffective in terms of finding people, we've seen this pointed out by John Corbett when he demonstrated that if you put firearms on the side of you as you go through the scanners, they cannot detect those. And of course, the TSA put a brave face on it and said, well, we're not going to respond to that. But then they started scanning like every fifth person or something. But of course, they know that there is no threat. Their internal documents that were put out on the internet on pacer.gov after John Corbett sued them recently showed unredacted documents said that the Homeland Security, TSA, said that there was no threat at airports or airplanes. Yet your information, your naked body scans can easily be hacked by somebody into those systems. Now, the article says the supervisor's password screen could be subverted through just a simple SQL injection attack. But of course, remember at the Super Bowl, we just saw recently that the Super Bowl security team, they took a picture of it with the CBS News crew. You could see their password was up on the screen, and that was a major breach of security. But what was also interesting was that their password was just the word welcome, although they got kind of tricky and they changed the E's to 3s. I'm sure that would fool any hacker. And of course, for 20 years, they used 8 zeros as the nuclear football code. Now, in Illinois, electricity customers are going to be forced to buy smart meters. This is an article from the Weekly Standard. And first, they point out that some people have been able to use the feedback from smart meters to save some money. But then they point out some interesting things that I hadn't seen before about smart meters. They said one meticulous customer interviewed by the Times compared her usage for the month of July 2008 before the meter was installed to July 2009, found that her recorded usage had jumped from 474 kilowatt hours to 646 kilowatt hours, and her bill was $20 higher. Another one said that his bills were jumping even though he had installed a lot of new insulation. Are they getting errors in these readings? That's not something we've seen before, but what we have seen is the arrogance of the utility companies. What they came back and said was they were going to charge people $23 if they wanted per month if they wanted to opt out of this. But then they said this: if customers make the decision to refuse a smart meter now and incur monthly charges associated with this choice, it should be with full knowledge that this refusal is simply deferring the inevitable. In other words, we are going to make you opt into the smart meter system, whether you like it or not. You can pay us $23 a month now if you want, but eventually you're going to be a part of that. And this is a government objective nationwide. And we understand that there are not only economic issues with this. When they charge you more for a time of day use, you don't really have a lot of control over when you're going to use that electricity any more than you can avoid rush hour traffic. You are not going to be able to avoid rush hour electricity charges. But there's also major privacy issues as well as health issues. But don't worry, they're going to force you to do that unless you get together and educate other people about the dangers and the issues involved in that. We can help you with that here at InfoWars. If you want to support our operation, one subscription can be shared with up to 10 people simultaneously. It's a great way to inform people.
Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our immune support infusion blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com.